everyone, my name is Kimberlee. I am a watercolor artist and I create paintings mainly inspired by places I've gone hiking. I love to paint landscapes in a semi-realistic style. I am also a big hiker and somewhat of a backpacker, so those adventures that we go on, me and my husband, that's where I get a lot of my inspiration for my artwork. It works out really well. I love to go hiking and adventuring, and then I get all of these beautiful images and places that I can then paint. It's a really great thing that I get to do. So I'm really happy that I get to share my experiences with you through my paintings. Today, I am going to be sharing another time lapse. If you have been on my channel before, that's mostly what I've shared in the past, time lapse paintings of my landscapes. And I plan to continue doing these. I think that people really have found value in them, and it's kind of what I'm able to create right now. I don't have a great vlog camera or anything like that I can take around with me to show you more of my studio. Maybe someday I will work towards that, but right now I'm probably just going to keep to the more simple videos. But let me know if you have any ideas of what other things you would like to see from me. I'm kind of trying to get back into YouTube and post videos either 2 or 4 times a month. So this is the first of those videos that I'm trying to produce. So today I'm creating a watercolor painting of a place in Wyoming. It's called the Wind River Range. I don't know if you've heard of it. If you're a hiker and you've gone in the Wyoming area, you probably have. But other than that, it's not super well known. And we have a friend who helps plan a lot of our backpacking trips, and he knows about all these cool places. And thankfully, he planned this for us. And we got to go last year in August. So it was summer, and we got to hike for 4 days. It was 4 days, 3 nights on the trail in the Cirque du Tower area. So I'm not great with like locations when we go. I'm kind of just along for the ride. We flew into Salt Lake City, and then we drove into Wyoming. I think it was a couple hours in. We drove on this dirt road for a long time out in the middle of nowhere. It's like all flat area, and then you start seeing these mountains rise up in the distance, and then you get there, it's like all lush greenery and pine trees, and we start hiking and really getting into the mountains, and it's just like absolutely gorgeous and really secluded too. We'd gone to the Tetons the year before, and that was also quite secluded once you got onto the backpacking trail. But here, even in the parking lot, like it was kind of busy, but it was a tiny parking lot, and like there were not loads and loads of people there. You could tell it was something that the local people knew about and that real avid hikers knew about. There were a lot of people there fishing because there were tons of these gorgeous like alpine lakes up in the mountains. So really great fishing spot for people who are into that. A lot of people were backpacking with fishing gear, which is admirable. And so, yeah, anyways, this particular painting was, or I should say, so this image was from the area called, there was a Lizard Head Peak really near there, and then you go along Lizard Head Meadow, or Lizard Head Plateau, sorry, and that's what we were on when I took this photo. And I work from photos that I take, so I take reference photos while we're out hiking just on my phone, and then I look at those as a reference when I'm painting. So anyways, this was on Lizard Head Plateau, so I named the painting Meadow in the Winds because it was in the Wind River Range, and it was this really pretty wildflower meadow on top of this plateau. It was just a really, really awesome trip. I'm so glad that I got to go, and I would highly recommend it. If you are going out to Wyoming, you should go to the Wind River Range. So that's kind of the story of the location for this painting. As for the substance of this painting, it's about 8 by 10 inches, and it's all watercolor except for near the end when I do the wildflowers. I use gouache so that I can paint that opaque gouache on top of the watercolor, since with watercolors you know it's not going to stand out if you try to paint a really bright color on top of another bright color. You're just going to muddy it up. So yeah, I'm trying some different stuff with mixing mediums. I'll throw in some gouache highlights every once in a while, and you know, here with the flowers, I'm just kind of having fun experimenting and not worrying about whether I'm using the medium exactly in the traditional sense. I love watercolors and I love what they do, but I don't necessarily think that I do watercolors in the traditional way, because typically you're a lot more loose with them and allow a lot more, you know, of your washes to kind of just flow. But I tend to be more detailed in my paintings, even more so than this one. This one's actually a bit less detailed than I typically do. This one just took me a couple days to do, but a lot of times I'll spend a week and a half, 2 weeks on paintings, especially when they're bigger. My favorite brushes and my paints, a few of the paints I will link below for you, and so that if you are interested in trying out some of the supplies I use, you can check those out. The brushes I use are called Princeton Neptune, and honestly, I haven't tried a lot of different brushes, but I bought these early on in my watercolor painting career, and I just have loved them. So I haven't really found a need to try a whole bunch of other ones. They're a synthetic sable, and I really like their quill brushes because they come to a super nice tapered point, but then they're hold a ton of water. So I use those for washes, and then also if I'm doing a lot of details or a lot of different areas at once, I'll use those. They're very versatile. We're getting to the point where I am about done with my commentary, and I'll probably just throw in some music here so you can kind of sit back, relax, watch the rest of the process play out, and I'll catch you at the end of the video.
As we are approaching the end of the painting here, I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching, and let me know in the comments, have any of you, or had any of you, heard of the Wind River Range before I mentioned it today, and or was it something new to you? It's kind of a hidden gem in Wyoming, so I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments if you'd heard of it before or not. I hope that you really enjoyed watching this process play out as I paint this little landscape. You can, of course, find it on my website. I usually put all my originals for sale on my website, and then I also make prints of my paintings, so you can find those on my website at kimeverhardart.com. The link will be listed below. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, you know, my few subscribers and the few people that watch my videos on here. You know, if you want to see more of my content, I post almost daily on Instagram. And yeah, I just hope that you guys have a great day, and I'll see you for another video soon.